So CirclesCountry, APT. In CirclesCountry, we say it's a country that contains several circular shaped districts. Some districts may be situated inside other districts, right? Okay, but their borders do not intersect or touch. So Katam is a resident of CirclesCountry, where he travels between two locations. He always tries to cross the fewest number of district borders as possible, because crossing borders is usually a laborious task. Imagine CirclesCountry is an infinite plane. You are given an int array and int y array, so this maybe will be storing the different locations that we are heading, and a radius array. And then we have where xi and yi are the coordinates of the ith districts here, center, and ri is its radius, the radius of the district. So Katam is currently at x1, y1. It needs to get to the point x to y2. So if you look at the test cases, we get, for example, if Katam is in this area and he needs to go over to this area, he needs to avoid crossing any circle, and it will return at 0 number of borders crossed. So you'll need maybe a way to check how will you determine if Katam is outside the circle and how is inside the circle. So let's just fire up VS Code and copy our skeleton, our boilerplate class, so that we can start working with it. And I said we will need to, the best way to handle this is to just align it. Align it first. Wait. We need to align it with, we need to create a helper class, which will help us to determine, a helper method to determine whether our Katam is inside a district or not. So that, because if it's outside, there's a way we can avoid crossing any border. So we're going to create a public boolean method that is going to return true or false, and we're going to call it is inside, and we are going to pass certain values, int x, int y, int cy, meaning the destination, int cx, get the order right, and int r. So after passing that, we are going to calculate two things. First of all is the distance, between like the two coordinates, and we're going to take x minus cx, then we're going to square it. So square it just like repeating by itself. Then we are going to add it to the difference in y coordinates, y minus cy. Just use space to make it more readable. Yeah, I like to make it more readable and then square it. The reason why we are doing this is to find the, like, somehow find, it's like a way of finding a magnitude. So for example, if you can remember, when you take the square root of x squared plus y squared, this will give you just r, right? So if you take like if you remove the square root, is the same as saying r squared. So x squared, which is this, times y squared, which is the differences, will give you r squared. This is somehow to avoid calling the math util, the math class, the Java math class, the Java math package, that is, sorry. So we are going to have a way of finding the radius squared, and radius squared is just r times r. Then we are going to return. So the return value is what will determine what will be true for our method. So if the distance, so this distance between maybe this coordinate and that coordinate is less than the radius, meaning the radius will swipe and cover and meet the end point of the radius, so it will mean we are inside our class. So for example, if I'm standing somewhere and I've just walked 2 steps ahead, and then the radius is 5 steps ahead, if the radius swipes around to create a district, it will confirm that because I'm less than the radius squared, it will confirm that I am indeed inside a district. That's why we have the is inside, and it will return true. Yes, so that is what you want for helper method. So you can come and track the number of crosses that you are making. The errors will be going down as we type new things. So we'll now need a for loop that will now loop through our various arrays, and we're going to start in k initialized to 0. If k is less than x, for our x here is x dot length k plus plus is the starter, and then now we will call an if statement to just use our helper method to check if our values is inside. So we can use that. So it's we're going to start with x1, then y1, then x sub k. So we are just going to follow the format at the top. We're going to compare x sub k and y sub k, and we're going to compare, instead of cross, and we're going to compare r sub k. So if it's inside, so we have compared with our first values, y, x, y for the first one. Remember, we have x1, we have x1 here, we have y1 here, and we want to check if is inside is true. And so we are checking, so if Katam is inside, that's what this statement means, it's inside the district, and the destination point, we need to check the destination point, which is x2, y2, xk, yk, rk. So if that is and if is inside is not, unlike the destination value, the destination area is not that, we will add our cross, because we will need to cross we will need to cross one one boundary, because if I am in a circle and you are not in the circle, I need to cross at least the circle of the boundary of my circle, right? So this is inside. That's correct. Okay, then we also need to check, so else if we need to check if it's inside again. We're going to check the same thing, but now this is going to be, we're going to be checking x2. So we are checking the destination value. Or let's check or is inside again. Going to be a lot. Going to check else if is inside so all of them are true. Not all of them. I'm gonna copy what we had. X1 is equals to I1. Okay, we are going to add the crosses. Now we're just going to increment by 1 each time our is inside for 2. Like if our destination value is inside its own circle and we are inside our own circle, that means we are going to cross. We are going to cross our first circle, our own circle, and then this one will cross the next circle, whereby the destination value is inside another circle. You see, so when we have two people in two different circles, it will first cross its own circle, just one, and then it will go to another one. So if the destination was not inside another circle, that's why we can't say and, we're saying just or. If it's outside, we won't cross. If it's inside, it's true, we are going to cross that the next circle, and then we'll have to increment by 1. So we'll have crossed 2 circles. That's what it means. Then we are going to return crosses. Double rad squared. So let's save the file. Let's debug our okay, double. So we are good to go. So let's we can try and create some code to test our values. This is not necessary, but I'm just trying to print out. I just want to generate PSVM where we can see if our code will work. Just to generate like random numbers and return something. So let's go back to our paste the new public static void. This is what people mostly call, then it will return 1. So based on this, it has allocated a given number of numbers and calculated the crosses. So it called CirclesCountry class and returned crosses. Let's see how we can understand. X has 0, 0 and 5. Y has this. X1 is -5. So let's hope it works. The code is like perfect for now. So let's save it and go and test in our APT servers. Let's see. Yes, we have passed 228 out of 228 cases. Thanks for watching.